Hello friend, welcome to my channel. My name is Afrik-Ann. In this channel I bring you tutorials on fashion DIYs from dressmaking, bag making and fashion accessories. In today's tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to make this beautiful jean handbag. So without further ado, let's get started. These are the materials I'll be using to make this handbag. So this is my jean material, or you can call it denim fabric. So what I have here is about half yard of this, although I'm not going to exhaust the half yard. So this is half yard of my denim material. This is my lining for the inside of the bag. So this is my paper stay. So this bag is beginners friendly. It's not like the professional bag making. I just want to use this illustration, or I just want to use this video to show you can make a beautiful handbag for yourself with the simple things you can find around. You don't have to go professional way. So with these little things you can own this beautiful handbag for yourself. So this is beginners friendly, so that's why I'm using all these simple things you can get around. It's not a professional one, but trust me, it will still look very beautiful. So this is my marco. You can get marco from people that sell bag making and shoe making material. So this is marco. So this is the stiffener I'm going to be using for this bag. This is the main stiffener I'm going to be using, and I'll be using these flat beads to embellish this bag. So you can leave yours plain, you can use buttons, you can use any other design of your choice, but this is what I will be using for mine. And I have my all-purpose adhesive gum, very important, and my pair of scissors. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is to cut out my marco according to the size of the bag I want to make. So you can make yours bigger or smaller depending on your preference, but this is the size I want, and the measurement I have here is 22 inches by 10. 22 inches by 10. And what I have here, this is also marco. This is 3.5 by 6.5, 3.5 by 6.5. So this is going to serve as the side of my bag. So I'm going to start by applying gum on my marco, on one side of my marco. After applying my gum, I'll let this dry for some few seconds. So after allowing my gum to dry for some few seconds, I'm going to place this marco on my lining. I'm going to be cutting out my lining, leaving about 1 inch allowance on every side. I'm going to be using my lining to wrap my marco like so. After wrapping my board with my lining, I'm just going to pick my gum stay and I'll be using this to cut out my gum stay. After using my marco to cut out my gum stay, I'm just going to place this on my jean. I'm going to use this to cut out my jean, leaving at least 1 inch allowance, 1 inch folding allowance on all the corners. So I'm going to take this to my ironing table and I'm going to iron this on my jean material. So after ironing my gum stay on my denim fabric, my jean material, I also used my iron to bend the sides. So I'm going to be wrapping this up with my gum. So after wrapping my denim, after wrapping my jean and my mako, you can see them well wrapped. So I'm just going to keep this aside and work on the side of our bags. So these are the two sides of the bag. So I'm going to be using this to cut my lining and my jean as well. So I'll be marking about 1.5 inch on these three sides, 1, 2, 3 sides. I'm not going to add any allowance here because I'm going to sew on this. This is for one side. I'll be needing 2 of these for the 2 sides. So I'm using this to cut out my lining. So after cutting the pieces for the sides, I have 2 of these and 2 of these for the 2 sides. So before I proceed with this, I'll go ahead and prepare the hand of this bag. This is what I'll be using to create the handle of my bag. I have my chain here. It's about 20 inches long. So I'm just going to cut out a long piece like this of about 1.5 inch wide. So I'm going to take this to my sewing machine and I'm going to fold this like this. I'm going to create a rope that will be passing through my chain. So this is how you're going to create the rope for the chain. Make sure your rope is longer than your chain so you can have enough to work with. So I'm going to be passing this through my chain. So you can see how I've neatly fixed the rope to the chain. So when I get to this last one, I'm just going to secure this like this. So this, I'm going to secure it. I'm going to do it on the 2 ends of my chain. So my bag handle is ready. So I'm just going to cut out the excess, leaving about 2 inches of my jean material. So I'm going to take this to my sewing machine. I'll be fixing this on the side of my bag. This is how I'm going to be fixing my bag handle at the side of my bag. So this is one side. So this is my marker for the side. I'm going to place my lining on it like this. Make sure it's at the center. So I'm going to place this on this center. I'm just going to secure this first, then I'll bring my jean material and place it on this. Now I'll be sewing this by 1/2 inch. So after fixing my chain, I'm going to be sewing on my lining and my jean. I'm just going to use this to secure my marco inside. I'm going to be sewing very close to where my marco is. This is just to hold my marco in place. So I've used my stitches to hold my marco in place. I'm going to be repeating the same thing on the other side. So as you can see, we've attached our bag handle to the side parts of our bag. So the next we are going to do, I'm going to be attaching it to this part, the marco, the wrapped marco. So I'm going to pick just one side of this. Remember the actual measurement we took for the side first before adding this extra allowance, the fabric allowance. So the first measurement we took, this is my 6 inches. So I'll go to one side of my bag like this and mark my 6 inches. And the bottom of this side is 3 inches. So I'm going to mark my 3 inches. And remember the opposite side is 6 inches as well. So I'm going to mark my 6 inches. I'll be repeating the same thing on the opposites of my bag. This is my 6 inches, 3 inches, and 6 inches. Please don't get confused. What I'm trying to mark is these three sides. We have 6 inches. This is the 6 inches, 3 inches. This is the 3 inches. And the other 6 inches, this is the 6 inches. As we proceed, you are going to understand more. So I'm just going to mark them out like this. And I'm going to bend this side that I marked. I'm going to be creating a bend on the sides that I marked. So I'm trying to create the shape for the bag before attaching the side. So after using the side of my bag to form the shape of my, I'm going to apply my gum and attach the sides. Just keep watching. If you don't understand anything, please drop your question in the comment section. I'm going to answer your questions. If there's anything you don't understand, please just drop your question in the comment section. So as you can see, I'm applying my gum first on this. This is supposed to serve as the bottom part. This is where we have our 3 inches. So I'm just going to pick one side of my bag. So this is where my 3 inches stops. So I'm going to be using this fabric allowance to cover this. So if this is where my marker is, this is where my marker is. So I'm just going to place this on this corner like so, and I'll do like this. So I'll be using my allowance, the allowance I created for the side. I'll be using it to cover this. And I'm going to repeat the same thing on the second part. So this is where our marker stops before the allowance I added for the fabric. I've covered one side of the bag. Sorry, I've already gone a bit far in making this bag when I noticed my phone wasn't recording, so I had to open it up and start all over again. That is why you can see the gum all over the body. Sorry about that. So I'm going to be, I think where I stopped was where I was trying to fix here. My phone stopped recording. I didn't notice. So let's continue. So after fixing this side, after fixing the 2 sides, the bottom side, so you're just going to apply your gum. You're going to apply your gum on this side. So this is how to cover the sides. So after covering the sides, so the next thing is to fix our magnet. So I'm going to start with this. So I'll come where the cover of my bag is. I'm going to come down by 1.5 inches. I'm going to come in by 2 inches. And I'll repeat the same thing here. It's time to cover our bag with our jean material. So I'm going to be starting from this top. So before covering up completely, it's time to fix in the other part of our magnet. So I'm just going to use my chalk and mark this. I'm going to use that to look for the point where I'm going to fix the other magnet. So this is where I'll be fixing my other magnet. Wow, isn't this lovely? Isn't this looking beautiful already? So our bag is ready. So I'm going to be embellishing my bag with this. You know, I showed you this at the beginning. So you can leave yours plain. If you want, you can add these stones to yours. So I'm going to be using my hot glue to add my stones to my bag. Okay guys, I think I'm okay with the amount of stone I've fixed on this. I just want it to be on the cover of the bag. So this is the inside of our bag and this is the side. This is looking so neat and beautiful. So I'm just going to lock this bag so you will see the real beauty of this bag. Wow, isn't this looking so lovely? I just love the outcome of this bag. So guys, this is all for this bag. Let me know what you think about this tutorial in the comment section. If you have any question about this bag, please drop your question. I'll be answering your question concerning this bag. Thanks for watching and please do not forget to subscribe for more beautiful DIYs like this. See you in my next video. Bye.